These guys claim to have the highest IQ on the planet, and others, a generation of lost young men, turn to the internet looking for
You can hear it now, right?
role models, and instead found a cesspool of self-proclaimed alpha males ready to exploit them. These gurus preach confidence and discipline, but the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that their lives are nothing like what they say.
The guy, he made everyone eat raw meat to get jacked and use steroids or something. Oh, what do you guys think of a carnivore diet? Why does everyone rave about carnivore diet? I feel like it is such a cult. I see like I have so much beef with carnivore diet and intermittent fasting. What is with that? I'm sure there are benefits for IF and carnivore diet for certain people, but it's not a miracle diet evolution. It's not like a cookie cutter, like a perfect diet for everyone that go into it. Like, oh, if you go on this diet, all your arthritis and inflammation are going to be gone. No. Yes, exactly, Sandra. The thing is, like, if your body is like that, that's fine. But I don't like the whole, like, marketing that, like, everyone wants to invent a new thing and they feel like, oh, doctors don't want to know you to know about this because this is going to heal you. And the health industry is going to lie to you about this. What? What in the world are we living in? In the hood, one guy that I know from Discord is being bombed. Where? In the US? In Mexico? Only people who know nothing about how the human body works believe it's viable. I don't know if it's like just online or it's just like I have so much beef with it. Pseudoscience. Food is kissing cousins of medicine. Yeah.
Behind the tough guy personas are men drowning in insecurity, fraud, lies, and desperation. Some of these guys claim to have the highest IQ on the planet.
Oh my god, this is Joe Rogan, right? What do you guys think of Joe Rogan?
And others literally admit to doing meth to look more attractive. Today we're discussing the most notorious ones, starting with King Azulai, the alpha who pled guilty to sexual contact with a 15-year-old girl. Ben Azulai essentially looked at Andrew Tate and said, I can do the same thing.
Joe Rogan was before. I think Joe Rogan was this like bald guy earlier. Like it was like in a short.
Only Ben has less charisma, and it is way less convincing when he lies, because his origin story is almost certainly completely made up. According to Ben, his mother came to America through the Mexican border to give birth to him. He spent his early childhood going between America and his mother's home country of Israel, before permanently settling in the United States at 10 years old. Ben claims that he began visiting a Chinese restaurant every day for lunch, where he was mentored by the restaurant's owner and trained.
Pretty sure that's not him, but I only know him from the podcast memes. What are the podcast memes about him? Saying all the big cringe names, yeah. Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate. What is it? King Azulay.
In the art of Kung Fu. Ben, who barely spoke English at the time.
Liver King. Mike. Oh, it's not Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. This is Mike Israetel. Yeah, I never watched Joe Rogan, so I actually don't know I don't remember what he looks like. It's not Joe Rogan. It's Mike something. Clavicular. The Saint and the Sinner. So, yep. Cool.
Became the target of bullying at school and used his newly acquired martial arts skills to beat anyone and everyone up who disrespected him.
People really understand things better when they get a fist in their face. They just act different. So everybody started respecting me.
At the age of 13, Ben claims that he fought 30 guys at once and they could not fully.
Wow. He fought 30 guys at once at 13 years old. Which episode of anime is this?
Defeat him. Well, at least that's what I think. He changes the story a lot.
I got my ass kicked one time. in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. When I was 13 years old, I got jumped.
Wow. Oh my god, my voice cracked because I have so much emotions. Were they babies?
By like 30 guys.
30 black guys, of course. Did he say black? I'm gonna have to rewind. He had to make sure.
Time that I stopped hanging out with people. And
Right, he had to make sure to throw in black. Yep. Of course it was 13 black people, of course. And then that's why he had to like stop hanging out with black people.
Believe it or not, today one of my best friends is a black guy. But at the time, it was literally people that I knew, and they jumped me. 30 guys. They were 17 and 18. I was 13.
I fought guys that were 7 foot tall, and I fought guys that were almost 400 pounds.
He said I fought guys, and I like misheard it to like I fought guys. I think that would be a lot more believable that he fucked those guys and not fought them. 400 pounds? Can he even move? I fought guys that were almost 400 pounds. You don't need to fight these guys. You just need to run, and they're gonna run out of breath and like collapse on the freaking floor because they're so overweight. What? You don't even need to fight them. What are you talking about? Oh, well, I can fight them. That's obese. Yep. Yep. Exactly my thought.
I fought 10 guys at the same time and beat their ass, and I fought 40 guys and I got jumped by them, and I was 13 years old. It did not matter how many.
Oh, so is it 30 or 40? Who knows? At first it's 10 guys, and then it's 40, and then it's 30.
People it was, how big you are, you can be 50 feet tall.
After developing
You can be 50 feet tall. Nice. I'm sure he went to college. I'm sure he went to college. I'm sure he passed biology. Sure. You can be 50 feet, of course. He just knows they're black. Of course, it's always black. Yeah.
a reputation for being a fighter, Ben said he joined the Russian mafia and started participating in underground fighting matches.
Underground fighting matches, of course. So I'm still wondering which episode and what is the name of this anime. I kind of want to watch.
Eventually, at the age of 18, I became one of the guys in the mafia. I was named the Kid,
Nice.
and it was the Russian mob. I started fighting under.
And then on the age of 17, he's gonna join the Yakuza in Japan and start a host club.
Ground fights.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's telling the freaking truth. You started
And then at the age of 25, he's gonna be a pimp.
kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah,
Dr. Stone.
he was putting me in there with anybody.
Man, this is such a good hate watch. I love it. Only 3 minutes in and we're already yapping.
I told him, give me anybody, I'll eat their throat. I don't care who it is.
Or eat their throat? What does that mean? Like you just bite their throat like an animal, like how animals kill each other? Or is it is it an English word that I don't understand? Or is it a new word that he invented? He pushed one of the guys and they start falling like bowls of dominoes. Oh, like bowlings? Yeah, he probably pushed the fat guy and the fat guy just fell on everyone else.
We're just a
It was literally saying just.
My favorite part about Ben is that even though
He's a killer, so he's John Wick.
he portrays himself as a ruthless, vicious fighter, he does show
he's
his
John
deep
Wick.
insecurities for his height. Standing at a mere 5'7", he justifies his height by comparing himself to some of the worst men in human history.
Height doesn't mean anything. It's 5'6". Having longer limbs do not make you any better. You ever seen Putin? 5'6".
No.
Joseph Stalin?
Putin, he's mentioning Putin like it's a role model. Really? Of all the people you can choose, really?
5'7.5".
Anyways, while he was participating in underground fights at age 18, he was also arrested, which led to some prison time.
And I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it. And when I got out all clean after I spent a little bit of time in jail, I said, I'm never coming back here again.
Remember this because we would later find out why he actually went to prison, and it was much worse than fighting. After his stint behind bars, Ben says he went to China where he trained with Shaolin monks.
Oh, of course he went to China. He joined Russian mafia, and then he joined the China mafia. And then, you know, he got to train himself to be a good pimp.
Who taught him some interesting ways to strengthen his bones.
And they explained to me that the strongest
Wait, I kind of want to know how popular is this guy? King, he's on YouTube. Okay. Shaolin monks. I've actually never heard of it. King, Zhou. He has 484,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, yeah, quite decent. Not doing a lot. Yeah, like, oh my god, this is sad. Not having a lot of tractions on his videos anymore. I think because of his allegations. But, nice. Okay. You want what he smokes? Cigar?
that the body is actually your skull. And if you train your skull for about an hour a day, bang it against the wall.
Oh, now it makes sense why he's talking like that. Now it makes sense. He's been training his skull by smashing his head against the wall every day for a year. Ah. Okay. I can relax now. This makes so much more sense.
Year it becomes 4 times thicker than
Of
it really
course.
is. Which means that you become unstoppable in the
Did you know that if you smash your skull against the wall every day for a year, for like an hour a day, your skull is going to get 4 times thicker and your brain is going to get 10 times flatter.
indestructible.
I actually do believe that Ben would regularly bang his head against the wall, because only
Makes
someone
a
who
lot of
did
sense.
that would manufacture
He wants
this
to be
online persona by
Mike
using
Tyson,
plots
yeah.
from Fight Club, The Karate Kid, and Kung Fu Panda and think that
Kung
we
Fu
were going
Panda.
to believe it. It's very clear that Ben is trying to make his childhood sound more interesting than it actually was, but he lies so much that he can't even keep track of his own contradictions. Now, it is
pathological
possible
liar.
that some of his story could be true, but there are so many things that contradict each other to the point where it makes it seem like everything is a lie. Firstly, he said he started his own business shortly after being released from prison and was making 50 grand a month by the time he was 20, thus making him able to retire by age 24. But Ben has also claimed that he worked for a top secret counterterrorism unit for
Oh. So he joined the Russian mafia and he worked for a top secret counterterrorism. That makes a lot of sense.
over 10 years.
I told you I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade.
Of
So for me, I
course.
wasn't allowed to be even on social media or any of these things. And even
Right,
today, I'm not allowed to even
right.
speak about what unit I was in, things like that for the next 5 years. I can't share it with
Right.
anybody, but I can say that I worked.
There's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
That's fine. Nobody cares. I
And
don't
it's
care.
convenient that you can't talk about it so no one can verify.
Well, you know,
Oh shit. Oh, sorry. What happened?
Prison. And since we can't, he portrays.
Where were we? Where were we? Okay, it's here. Hold on, let me. Okay.
I told you I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. So for me, I wasn't allowed to be even on social media or
Middle
any of
schoolers,
these
we were-
things. And
Yep.
even today, I'm not allowed to even speak about
Someone who has like brain rot from watching too much anime.
what unit I was in, things like that for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody, but I can say that I worked.
There's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
That's fine. Nobody cares. I
And
don't
it's
care.
convenient that you can't talk about it so no one can verify.
Well, you know, there's
Right.
units that are called invisible units.
I'm not doubting you. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't care.
But if I were to question it, I would say,
Right, so like I'll have you guys know that I work for the CIA, but I'm not allowed to talk about it, so you're not allowed to ask. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. At 17, you were homeless. At 18, 19, you were cleaning carpets. Then you got into
I got out of
telemarketing. Yeah. Then you started doing real estate. And you started investing here and there. That was only 10 years ago. So when was the counterterrorism?
Yeah.
And who is it for? The Israeli army?
Oh my
Well,
god, I like this guy. He's roasting him.
It's Israel and the United States. You work with both.
That's the
Because that
CIA.
No. Counterterrorism is a little bit different.
But you had to be with somebody.
Yeah, but can't talk about who I was with.
Of course.
Now, if he truly retired at
Of
age
course.
24, then he would
Gunshot. I'm gonna tell on King Azula so he can arrest you for being a terrorist.
have had to start working in this alleged counterterrorism unit at the age of 14. This also means that he would have been working in this position while he was going to high school, fighting in underground cage matches, living with Chinese monks, and also being locked up in prison. And since we can't tell what is actually a lie and what is the truth, it's easy to assume that his lifestyle of endless riches, mansions, and sports cars are also greatly
Wait.
embellished. Taking a look at his personal website, Ben claims to have made his
Wait, he's 24? He's 24? Holy guacamole. Really? Age. Wait, no, he's 35. Okay. He's 35. No, wait, what? I'm just getting so many news. He's, yeah, I don't know. Ben King Azole, okay. Ben King Azole H. Oh, he's 35. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. No way he's 34.
$150 million fortune selling patents. I was only able to find 2 published patents under the name of Benjamin Azulai, both of which were filed in 2020. Even if we were to assume that both of these patents somehow sold for a grand total of $150 million, they were
What?
filed well after his 24th birthday, which he claims at that point was when he was able to retire due to his endless riches. I'm fairly
Right.
certain that this is a completely different
He was retired at 24. Ripwell, what are you doing with your life? Like going to college full time and working, you know, a job and streaming on top of that? You're falling behind. I'm falling behind. What are we doing? He's retired at 24.
person with the same name, and Ben has no
All we know, he has a mental age of 12.
history of selling patents at all. He also claims in his biography to have had an active role in 16 different businesses that have generated $500 million in sales.
Wait. He's invested in hundreds of businesses as a venture capitalist and took an active role in 16 businesses that have generated over $500 million in sales.
As well as claiming to have won multiple
And then he won multiple medals in bodybuilding competitions and has competed in many cage fights around the world. Wow. Don't you want to be with him? I'm 19. I'm on time to make me rich. Let me sell drugs.
awards for both bodybuilding and cage fighting.
23. You should work on being retiring already. You have 1 year left.
I tried to find any evidence of these claims and came up with absolutely nothing. But at the end of the day, even the most simple framing of Ben's life doesn't make sense. If he truly made 150 mil and was able to retire at age 24, why is he trying to sell people a self-improvement
Ah, of course. Of course he's gonna sell a self-improvement course. How much is it? 52-week boot camp. Oh, Alpha Male boot camp? Designed to help you adopt a champion mindset and teach you how to apply it to increase your income. Maybe you guys should pay for this so you could become a champion and retire next year.
course online? According to Ben, it's because he wants to impart his wisdom to young men
Of course. It's because he wants to help young men, not because he wants to make more money.
and help them become strong and successful like he claims to be.
There's nothing that could impress me. I don't care if you have a Bugatti, you have a private jet, you have a yacht. I've seen it all. I don't care for it. I care for people now. And what I do for many years now is coach people, help guys not to go through the things that I went through.
It's so
You could be
noble.
a strong man. You could be a tough guy.
Literally
you could be
tearing
an
up
alpha.
right now.
But you got to do it right.
This sentiment, as nice as it sounds, doesn't hold much weight. Someone who made $150 million would not be selling a course. The course he's selling is funding the mansions, cars, and lifestyle he portrays. But there is one thing Ben is telling the truth about. He did in fact spend time in prison, although he hasn't been fully honest about how he ended up there. A YouTuber named John Bravo Films was able to uncover court documents revealing that Ben was sentenced to prison after he, his brother, and his friends took turns brutally assaulting a 15-year-old
What?
girl while she was intoxicated.
Oh my
Without
God,
getting into
that's
specifics, the court
bad.
documents tell an unbelievably violent and graphic story that resulted in the young girl
Oh my God. That is pretty serious. How is he walking as a free man? This is a lawsuit by a young woman stemming from, maybe this is like in Israel. Maybe that's why he's able to like be a free man, because this doesn't make any freaking sense. So this young woman with 15 years old and a virgin. Holy cow.
becoming both mentally and physically scarred from the event. Once the girl was able to escape the men, she called the police and the three were arrested. Ben was 18 years old and thus tried as an adult. He also admitted his guilt in open court. Ben vehemently denied all of the information that John Bravo revealed and responded exactly how you would expect him to. He basically said he is being canceled by The Matrix.
Now it looks like I pissed off a lot of people, guys. A lot of people. So many, because I became so influential so quick. And I'm literally one of the most talked about influencers in the world today, that I got to the point that they're putting out a lot of false information about me. A lot of bullshit. But you see, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm gonna say this. It looks like the Matrix is attacking me.
But the pressure from those online was too big for Ben to ignore, so he further elaborated in a now deleted video where he claims the entire situation was
Exactly.
made up. He claims that the girl in
Aren't these women lucky?
question filed a $15 million lawsuit, and rather than spending hundreds of thousands in
Women are just a sex object after all.
lawyers' fees, they settled for a much smaller amount under the agreement that he pled guilty. The story
my
completely
God, I'm gonna
contradicts
get
what is
canceled.
verifiably written in the court documents,
Don't
as they
cancel me.
directly claim that the nurses observed physical signs of SA all over the girl's body. Unsatisfied with
God.
his response, John Bravo continued exposing Ben, revealing that this was not even the first time Ben was charged with SA. The court documents clearly state that Ben and his brother Dylan had a past history of charges for SAing underage intoxicated girls. King Azulai has continued to try and define exactly what really
That is
happened, but
messed
whenever
up.
he
Honestly,
clarifies
he does have to look for it.
things, it doesn't exactly make him look better.
I was never convicted of. I was convicted of oral copulation with a minor. I was 18, she was under 18. And I
Or collation.
agreed to take a plea deal that I got a job from her. They were trying to teach me a lesson because a year before that, when I was underage, I had a fight with my ex-girlfriend.
Oh my
She
God.
cheated on me. I got hell of upset and I smacked her in the back of the head.
Recently, he
I smacked her in the back of the head? This is worse than I thought. This turned from a hate watch to a true crime documentary.
has accused his most prominent detractors, including John Bravo, of hiring a hitman to take out his mother.
But these men are not the ones that I worried about so much. It's about this email that I received this morning. An email that sounds like it's coming from a hitman. This kind of an email describes exactly what they're going to do to my mother.
Exactly.
The email Ben shows is almost certainly completely fabricated, coming from an email address that doesn't even exist, meaning Ben made this entire thing up just to paint himself as the victim. Now, whatever credibility he has left is certainly gone, and still to this day, Ben is trying to rebrand from being known as a
Yeah.
fraud and a violent abuser, much like Wes Watson, who was once seen as the
Oh
example
my
of how
god,
an
he used
ex-con
steroid, right? Look at the veins. The veins are veining like crazy.
Convict can truly turn their life around to now facing
Ex-convict.
charges that could
Oh my god, he does look like a criminal.
land him
I'm
back
sorry.
behind
I'm judging a book
bars.
by its cover.
When Wes Watson first started posting content
He
back
does look like potato. I'm craving for a baked potato looking at his head.
in 2019, his videos mainly focused on his time spent in federal prison. Wes claims that he started selling weed during his teenage years and was making up to $40,000 a week. Although Wes has given various different versions of this story, so that's just a rough estimate.
At 11, I just started hustling. By the time I was 16, I went and bought a truck at like a lifted Z71 cash, like 50 grand. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars at 15, 16. I started smoking weed at like 13 or 12. By the time I was 14 or 15, the natural progression was to start slanging.
And despite selling what he describes as a large amount of product, he managed to avoid
Yeah, I was thinking, how do you make that much selling weed? How many kilos of weed do you have to sell to earn that much money?
the law for a long time. That was until a fateful night in November of 2009 where Wes physically assaulted a man after a drug deal that had gone wrong. Notably, Wes was not actually involved in the deal itself, but rather serving as more of a low-level grunt called in after the deal fell through. Not exactly the hotshot kingpin he
It has
claims
to be
he
other
was.
drugs,
What is
too.
true is that Wes spent nearly a decade in prison, and stories he told from his time
I
locked
think maybe he sells other types of drugs that are a lot more expensive, but he just like conveniently leave it out because weed seems more tame.
up brought him almost immediate success on YouTube. In under half a year since his first upload, Wes was already able to get 250,000 subscribers. And during the pandemic, Wes had a unique opportunity and began creating more motivational content to help people increase their mental fortitude and
motivational
physical
content,
fitness
of
while
course.
trapped at home. This is when Wes began offering what he describes as self-mastery programs,
Okay, let me
which
read this. Self-mastery program. Let me help guide you to becoming your best self. Discover how I was able to turn 10 years of pain into my dream life by following this simple yet overlooked method that you can apply to your life right away.
sought to teach young men how to hone in their physical strength, business
He's selling weed, but he's BSing about how much he was making to sound badass. How much do you think he made? How much do you think he fabricated? Maybe like, I would say maybe $100, $200 a week. Probably, or maybe $400 at most. Mental age of a 12-year-old.
capability
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what you need to be popular. You need to regress. You need to regress to be able to be an alpha male. You need to be dumber.
and mindset. Thanks to programs like this, Wes claims that he now makes an average of $3 million per month.
Like, you don't make $1 million a month. You make a third of what I make a month. If you make $1 million a month, I can't respect someone who's doing a third of me financially. I can respect the guy whose yacht is in 300 million. He murdered me. I have to understand what he did.
Although we have no way to verify how much money he was actually making, what I can say for sure is any businessman who was making $3 million per month would absolutely respect and listen to the advice of another businessman who was making $1 million
200,
per
300.
month. Despite his arrogance, Wes was relatively
That makes a lot
respected
more
in the early
sense.
days of his content creation career. His videos served
Oh
as
my
a
god, do you think he's on steroid? So I've been told that, like, if the veins are curled, then they're on steroid. If the veins are like straight, yeah.
cautionary tale of just how brutal and unforgiving spending time in federal prison can be. Wes sold himself as a man who learned from his mistakes and was trying to teach other people lessons that he had to learn the hard way. In particular, Wes has claimed that his anger issues were the catalyst for many of his problems.
Wow, so he's just wanting to help young men. He's such a nice person.
My biggest vice is anger. I have a problem with it. It's the biggest battle of my life. These vices hold us from everything, all our dreams, everything we could ever possibly just gather up and love for our lives. Our vices are holding us from it.
Of course, Wes put on the persona that he was a changed man, and now found healthy ways to deal with his anger.
I don't fall victim to my old vices, the drugs,
Oh my God,
the negative
the spit.
the anger. I don't fall victim to it no more. I've done so good on my anger lately too. I'm so proud of it. You guys, you have to drop all this and not drag your family through the mud.
But this didn't seem to be the case, as conflicts in his personal life made it to the public eye, and they showed that Wes hadn't really changed at all, particularly when Valerie Watson, Wes's now ex-wife, posted a video to social media accusing her husband of both physical and emotional abuse.
I literally have held my tongue for way too long to protect him. It's not happening anymore. He's physically hurt me so many times that it's...
Oh, Roy's make pee-pee small? I didn't know that. Oh. Oh, now this makes a lot of sense. Oh, because you know what? I've been reading so many comments of girls saying that like the more muscles a guy has, like the more he's obsessed with gym stuff, the smaller his PP is. But I think it is because of the steroids, if that's what you're saying, because it doesn't make any sense, you know, like working out doesn't make any sense to like shrink your PP or anything. But if someone is like super obsessed with gym stuff, fitness stuff, and they like on steroids, that makes a lot of sense. Oh. This reminds me, reminds you of what? Prolonged use of steroids. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna start spreading this information on TikTok now.
Unforgivable. And I do have a video of Wes charging at me and has put like a knife to my face and literally have told me, like, has threatened to kill me.
Valerie also specifically emphasizes that the person Wes portrays himself to be online is a lie, and that he did not follow the same rules and principles he promoted to his audience. She also included pictures of her bloodied hand and bruised arms, implying that Wes had directly caused the injuries. Then again, it is possible that he had a jealous ex who was just trying to make up stories because he was becoming successful and popular online. That is for sure what Wes's fanbase thought, which is why this wasn't the final nail in the coffin for his career. And over the next few years,
the body things for PB, which is produce testosterone, is now useless, so shrinks it because lack of need. This is the science that I didn't know I need today.
More information would come out about Wes that essentially proved to his detractors that his whole life...
A guy from my uni used steroids and he was about to have sex with one girl, but his little friend never up. Oh. Yeah, it must cause some like dysfunctional like issues down there too. Does it work if you take steroids and Viagra, or does it kind of cancel it out?
Life was a hoax. His mega mansion, which he
It's a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's true.
claimed to have purchased, was not
It's true.
actually his. The property was listed for rent at $65,000 a month in October of 2022, and the listing was removed a month later in November, right before he uploaded his vlog showing off the property. His Bugatti Chiron he also does not own. Even his girlfriends, and I'm not joking, are literally rented. Wes was exposed for hiring a female escort for $200 an hour and pretending that she was his actual girlfriend. His house...
Oh my god, that is pathetic on a different level. Hire an escort for $200 an hour to pretend that it's just your girlfriend? Holy guacamole, that's pathetic. It will work due to the nature of Viagra being kind of acting. Okay.
house is rented, his cars are rented, and even his girlfriends are rented, which doesn't mean that he...
So, next time, any girls listening to this, next time you're with a guy that is a gym bro, has a lot of muscles, a lot of curly veins on his body, bring some Viagra. Or Viagra. Yep. Save yourself.
is secretly broke. It's just clear he isn't exactly the business mogul he claims to be. If Wes had taken the money he's been wasting...
Oh, I have another question. What if you take drugs? Because I know that I think some drugs, like I think coke or like ketamine or meth, maybe not meth, like some drugs or substances, you're gonna have trouble getting it up, right? Is it gonna work if you take Viagra? If you're on drugs? Why are we having this conversation? I feel like it's derailed. But that girl was cheating his boyfriend, so I don't know if we can call it karma. Maybe it's karma, yeah. I mean, yeah.
On overpriced cars and homes for Instagram and actually invested it, he could have actually owned real assets by now. A large property, maybe not supercars, but still expensive luxury cars. But he didn't do that because Wes is creating the illusion of success to sell more courses and coaching to people who don't understand what real success is. Which is, I have to admit, ironically a good business strategy. The problem is, this relies on the customer lacking intelligence and desperately wanting a role model, and thus paying a con artist with deep insecurities. He even lies about his height, despite being listed as
Of course he had to lie about his height.
5'8" in court documents. Wes gets furious when anyone suggests he's shorter than 6 feet tall.
Oh my
tall am I?
god.
I'm 6 foot. When we
Of
went into
course.
medical, when I was booked, I was 6 foot 252. And I said, why the does my paperwork say 5'8", 230? That's the eyeball of the arresting officer.
Oh
To make
my
matters worse,
God. Oh, it's the eyeball of the officer. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I'm just saying, why do you have to lie about it? That's just sad. 5'8" is pretty decent. 5'8" is average. It's like, on an average, you're like taller than an average woman already. It's a good height. Why do you have to lie about it? I guess because he has to be the alpha male. Depends on the drugs. It's stronger. 5'8", I think. Let me Google. 5'8", 2 centimeters. 5'8" is 172. It's decent. 6 inches. Oh. It's not super tall, but it's decent. It's not short. But I think if he's in Europe, then it would be considered short. It is average, yeah. It's normal, but it's not alpha male equivalent. Okay, there's an ad coming soon. I'm gonna take a little break and we're gonna come back to this. I'll be right back. We're back. Oops. We're back. Oops. Where are we going? Here. US is attacking Venezuela? Why? Average woman height. Yeah. So it's like my height is average.
he literally uses special insoles to boost his height, and he does a terrible job at hiding it. Wes has such a hard time keeping track of his lies that the alpha womanizer admitted to being bisexual during an interview.
I was in a Q&A on the way here. Someone said, skinny or thick chicks? I'm like, I like them skinny thick. You know, what the you mean? Like, everything's like that for me. They're like, are you straight or are you this? I'm everything. I'm not just one or the other.
And despite portraying himself as a stoic yet intense tough guy who learned from his mistakes and can now control his anger, Wes's temper was completely out of control, violently threatening anyone who had a different opinion than him.
Are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything else is worth more than your children?
Like, my dad's a superhero. Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from nothing to this.
Yeah.
He works.
Okay, I think we've had enough of this. Let's move on. Should we watch this? I already watched